Hi, and welcome back to my art channel. We're back. Spanish speech, say goodbye to the world. It's over! Finally, 2020-2021 school year is over, my people. I'm excited. And you guys should be excited too, because a lot is gonna happen. Things are gonna happen. I just feel the potential of myself just bleh, emerging from the earth. Okay? I got loads of energy. And so today, it has been a full year since, it's been a full year that I have been creating school artwork, okay? And just like my first year of school, I'm gonna be sharing all of my artwork that I made this year with you all. Yes, so let's get into it. Starting off, the beginning of everything this year. First semester, I took three art classes, painting 1, drawing 2, and 3D art, sculpting. It was really fun. Honestly, I'm not the best painter. I got lots to learn in painting. That or, I don't know. So, okay, so starting off, I'm going to start off with my painting class, of course, with my professor who actually retired this year. Kind of sad. He was a good teacher. I'll miss him. So starting off painting, I did a mug, which was difficult. I've learned a lot from painting. If you remember my big oil painting that I did last summer, I didn't use any solvents. It was just pure freaking oil paint. What was I thinking? I have no clue. I was just like, we're gonna paint and then and then I got into painting 1 and then he's like, we're gonna learn how to use solvents. Everything makes sense now, you know what I mean? So we did that. It was a good start for me, to be honest. I was pretty proud of myself. I'm learning at home by myself. Next on, we got some grapes. I wish I had, they're fake grapes. I had to set it up. I had to do actually a lot of still life setups here, which was fun. I'm so thankful that me and my dad, we cleaned this out for both of us. I mean, he hasn't used it yet because I've kind of taken over the place and stuff, but still, I don't think I would have had room in my bedroom for this. My bedroom's a place of rest, not a place of work. Alright, next one. Oh, this is a good one. Ooh, okay. So, I love good challenges, right? And I think I've learned a lot about myself from this. It's actually kind of directed me into a better understanding of myself as an artist, kind of, if that makes sense. So I used a palette knife, if y'all know what that is. Let me see if I can find one. Not a real knife, I promise, not a real knife. It's just where is it? Don't judge me, y'all, because I don't take good care of my paintbrushes and stuff. I get very lazy, so I'm trying to teach myself. After you're done oil painting, clean up, or else everything's gonna get ruined and you're gonna forget that you're painting and everything's ruined and you just spent $100 on paintbrushes. Fun fact, that happened to me this year. I spent a lot of money on oil paint stuff and it's a lot of money. This is a palette knife. Back to my story. So this painting with the nightstand and the little teacup and the books, I Of course, we had to do like another still life just for studying and getting into everything, but I wanted to just use a palette knife. Why am I talking like this? I do not know. I used this though on it only, no paintbrushes. I didn't even like, when I did my under painting for this, I even used a palette knife. Like everything, palette knife, palette knife, palette knife. Yep. That was really fun. It's really interesting. I'm still waiting for some of these paintings to actually dry still, because when you use solvents, it makes the painting not dry, so it takes a while for it to dry. So I want to actually get back into some of these paintings, which is fun. So on to my final for this class. Ooh, this is rough. Okay, you know all about my love for pastels and the portraits. And yes, I love me a good portrait with some pastels. So this is my first ever like actual self-portrait with oil paint. It didn't go so well. Maybe a little bit, I don't know. I was so mad. I feel like I don't ever have like control over my oil paint. Because obviously it's completely different than pastels. You know, pastels, you got all, my stick. You know, pastels, you have all your colors already there. You don't have to mix anything. But for oil paint, you have to make all your colors, and it doesn't make sense to me. I do like glazing though. Glazing is a whole nother thing. On to drawing 2. Oh boy, drawing 2. Okay, we were outside the entire semester. This is still first semester, by the way, drawing 2. Did a lot of landscapes, which was interesting. I wasn't too stoked about it, to be honest. If you all know from my first video, when I go over all my artwork from my first year, I talk about how I thought I was gonna make landscapes and stuff. This proves that I cannot do landscapes, okay? I just don't have the time. I don't have the, like, what's the point? I know some of them can be pretty and whatnot, but it's just like, people are so much more interesting than trees. All the trees, they look the same. They got a branch. They got another branch, and they got the poofy leaves. Oh my gosh, all the leaves and the details. It kind of screwed me over there, honestly. But it did kind of push me. On to the next one. The first one was like a study. It was, next one was on campus, so most of these were actually on campus. Charcoal drawing. It's okay. I tried to go live on this video when I was finishing this up at home, but my internet connection is so bad. Maybe when I have better internet connection, I'll do more live videos. I don't know. Figure that out later. Next one. Okay. One thing I liked about taking this class was my professor. He said, you know, I've seen your work. I know you're like a really good artist and whatnot with my portraits and stuff, but he said, you know, one thing you need to maybe practice on is, you know, giving yourself a certain amount of time. So like 1 hour. You have 1 hour to complete this drawing to your best ability. That kind of thing. And so I took this time and I did this drawing in that amount of time, and I was like, okay, we need to learn how to simplify things. And that is one huge lesson I learned this year. I always try to nitpick and get all the detail, which I love that for myself. That takes a lot of skill to do, you know, getting all the details, you know, the way it looks. But another thing that I found very important is if you can learn to simplify patterns, or, you know, how different lines vary from each other, like, I don't know, the side of the nose from the side of the nose. Like, if you learn how to simplify things rather than going in with the detail and like getting every single peach hair fuzz on my face, like, it's gonna make your life a lot more easier. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of run through these a little bit more quickly. These were all of the ink and water wash ink stuff that we did. It was interesting. We got like the micro pen markers as well, and a bamboo stick. It was very different for me. I did not like it because I felt like I didn't have any control, which was, is a good lesson, don't have control, but then again, it kind of made me feel like maybe I don't need control. I don't know. Yeah, so there's those. We'll just skip through them. That one was pretty fun. They're all on campus again. Like, we did these all on campus. Of course, social distancing and stuff. All right. I feel like there's more drawings in this class other than landscapes, but I guess not. So we'll just jump on into the final for this class. He wanted us to draw ourselves as an animal. I hate being creative sometimes. I don't know why. It's just like I don't like unreal things with real things, mixing them. And it's just like I was like so puzzled with this. It took me forever to figure out what I was gonna do. So I figured out, okay, we'll do this weird snake thing of me like morphing into a snake. It kind of looks cool, but I feel like I definitely could have taken more time on this one, considering that it's pastel. I could have gone into the leaves a little bit more, and the scales and the face. It was a lot of detail. There are some areas that I'm proud of on this one. Yeah, that's my final. Okay, on to the third class for first semester still. Almost halfway, almost there. Okay, we did 3D class. That was fun. First thing we did is we took a bunch of these like wooden sticks. They're like this long. We had to use Gorilla Glue, which was not fun because I kept getting my fingers stuck together, and it's the scariest thing. It's like you have your fingers stuck together, and then all of a sudden it's like you have to rip your fingers apart, and you're like, okay, which side of my finger did I lose skin on? Kind of a deal, but my fingers are still okay. It's fine. And then we had to use an X-Acto knife to create like 1,000 specific like shapes and then make it into something completely. So I chose the letter Y because it seemed like the easiest thing to make. I didn't want to do like a bunch of cuts, so I was like, okay, we're just gonna cut once, cut twice, got a Y. And then I made like the tornado thingy. It was fun. Okay, Big Noodle Boy. This was what is it called? With the paper. Paper mache. Okay. This thing is huge. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it in my suit. It's like about the same size as me. Like legit. It's big. Okay. So originally I was going to make 3 others, including this one. And I was gonna have that was supposed to be the smallest one. And then there was supposed to be like huge other ones. And that did not happen because like that one itself took so long. So I just focused on that. It was supposed to portray like a feeling of zen. Because when you go in the Zen gardens, it's like you have these little rakes and they make the lines. So I was kind of thinking like that. But for the noodle, like that's what the texture is on there. I don't know. It was different. Alright, on to the next one. This one was so much fun. I love this one. It was something completely weird. I wanted to do a lot more with this, but I didn't want to be wasteful, if that makes any sense. So this one, as you can see, it's a bunch of bags that I tied together with air in them. And originally I wanted to get way more than this and just like make it into the environment and kind of have like this growth of these like grocery bags like emerging from the room or whatever. But that's all I could kind of do because I didn't want to be wasteful, you know, and get a bunch of bags that weren't even being used, like from the store for no reason. So that's actually all the bags that was from my house. So we used that. Kind of fun. I think sculpting this year was really fun. It kind of got me into a better mindset creatively. You know, thinking three-dimensional and stuff. Yeah, it was really fun. Using different materials, of course. Like, it kind of makes me think of ideas for like way in the future. Like, maybe I want to staple a bunch of plastic bags to a canvas, but then paint it somehow. That'd be really cool. I don't know. I got ideas now because of that. Alright, and then the final. Okay. This was interesting. Okay, so we had to redesign a book, but make it into a 3D form. I hated my idea when I started getting into it because I did this huge hole through the center of 2 books. Not just one, 2. 2 thickeroni ones, you know. And I wanted them to like portray different emotions, so I did that. That was fun. Yeah, that was my final for that class. So overall, I'm supposed to be taking sculpting 1, 2. I don't know. That was like beginning 3D or whatever, but I'm supposed to take 3D and I'm really excited. What if I get to like make clay sculptures of, I don't know, faces or something? That'd be really fun. I think that would help me a lot understand like anatomy more. We'll see. We will see. We got first semester out of the way. Now we're going on to second semester. So for this semester, this last one that I just finished finally, thank the Lord, was I took drawing 3 and painting 2. I think I'm going to be taking drawing 3 again possibly in the future because I wasn't able to work with any live models. You know, I want to understand how to draw people from life, not just like myself, because I feel like after you draw on yourself, you know what to expect, you know, structurally wise. And so I kind of want to challenge myself, you know, how am I supposed to grow when I'm not in class and I'm at home drawing myself or, you know, going from photos. You know, you get the picture. So we'll start with drawing 3. So first one I finished was a still life drawing. He said like do a self-portrait of yourself, but it's not a self-portrait. It's still life objects that kind of describe you, if that makes sense. So at the moment, I just got engaged. We are looking for a house. You know, we have like planning to do and all that stuff. So that's kind of why I have the ring in there. You know, I got engaged. I'm gonna get married to Austin. So excited. Then I have the ring. No, I just said the ring. Then I have the key in there because we are looking at houses right now. Hopefully by the end of this year we will have one. If not, like we have enough time to look for a house and whatever. And then I have the book down there with the like pen as like to see through how much work I've been doing that last semester. I was doing a lot of planning, scheduling every single day, like full-time job. Every hour, every minute, I was scheduling what I was doing. So there was a lot of chaos with that. And then on the side, it was kind of like my passion of, you know, being an artist and whatnot. So I wanted to include that as well. Yeah, so that was my first one. It was actually, it was really cool to tell other people that because I don't want to be like one of those people that brags like, I just got married. Look at my wing. That's so pretty. It's very pretty though, like for real. Do you see this? Spent a lot of money on this. Y'all be jealous. So on the next one, I love me doing a good cast head. Oh boy. I got so excited when he said this. I was so excited. Like, very, very thrilled to do this. I love doing cast heads because it takes a different perspective from an artist that you can practice and think of forms in a different way. One of my weaknesses is hair. And so I decided, okay, we're gonna do the guy that has the most hair on arts and Google culture. So I chose Neptune, and it was so challenging. And now I think of hair in such a different way. Rather than just thinking of it as like individual strands, I think of it as like a whole form and shape as itself, and it just makes so much more sense now. So I'm glad we did that. I absolutely love doing that for practice and just like learning more, you know. You can learn a lot just from doing cast heads, like, trust me. Go into Google Arts, search up cast heads or whatever they're called. I don't know if that's what it's called. I hope that's what it's called. And just find something. Like, the photos on there are so crisp and clean, like you can see everything. It's perfect, and they're good lit. Like, it couldn't get better than that. Okay, final for this class. Alright, if y'all don't know, I absolutely love this final. It's right over there. Fun thing about this though, like I already kind of explained what the meaning is, you know, this year has sucked balls. It sucked balls. Yep. That's what it did. So COVID, you beat me up, and this is what it looks like for me. I suffocated in a plastic bag. Yep. But fun thing about this. So my dad is an artist. He is the master of pastels. And let me tell you, he knows a lot of things that helped me take my art from here to here. And I tried out sandpaper, and I thought I was going to hate it. Nope. I absolutely love sandpaper now. I don't think I'm ever gonna turn back to Canson paper. Canson paper, I love you, but you can't do what sandpaper can do. It might have hurt my fingers, like they got sore and they got very close to the point of bleeding, but they didn't because I knew when to stop. Yeah, I absolutely love sandpaper. I took that away from that. I think I'm gonna work on it more too because it needs some love, you know. I definitely could spend more time on it. Alright, so we got that out of the way. Drawing 3 is done. Now we move on to painting 2. I still have to take painting 3 next year. I'm kind of happy because painting is so difficult for me. I still don't get it. It's not my strongest, you know, thing. So started off with like, you know, paintbrushes in the studio. I really like the composition of this one, to be honest. I love the yellow contrast against all the darks. I wanted to go back into this one, but I just didn't have the motivation to. Okay, this next one is really weird, and you guys are gonna judge me for this. But I absolutely love this one. Love it so much. I don't. Okay, the only thing I'll explain is the hand. I promise you, it's not flipping off, everyone. It's a dinosaur hand, okay? Whenever you were a kid, did you not play with your hands like they were dinosaurs? Like, yeah. So weird thing, me and my sister, when we were little, we did that, but we also put a hair tie on our finger to lift our finger up more so then the head could be more present as a dinosaur. And the dinosaur hands at the beach. And I can't explain what's happening in the background, so. Alright. On to the next one. Of course. Our professor made us do a COVID mask painting. Didn't love it. Rushed it for sure because I got so busy. I was focusing so much on my other classes. I felt like this year my paintings and everything, they're just like trash. They're okay. Like, I would have done way more detail than this, but I definitely simplified a lot more. Okay, next we got master copy. This helped me out a little bit more with color because I struggle so much just doing color in general. Get it? Because it's a painting of a so I did a master copy of one of Sargent's pieces. And what's great about Sargent is that you can look up online his specific one technique, which is one, he goes in with charcoal as his underdrawing, and then he goes straight into color. You know, he uses like thick paint. He doesn't rarely use like any solvents unless it's like a little bit of terpenoid in his paints. Which kind of opened my eyes a little bit. You know, I love doing drawings for my underdrawings for paintings. Like, I cannot paint unless there's an underdrawing. So that really helped me out in terms of like different ways to go about it, if that makes sense. Obviously, it's not perfect, but it helped me out. And then here is my final. It's still drying, and I'm sorry you can see that. So we had to do patterns, at least 3 like repetitive patterns. And I did not want to do a freaking landscape like most of the people in there. Everyone was doing landscape for this final, and I was like, no, I'm doing a portrait of myself if I was having like the perfect coffee in the morning kind of a deal. So I did some, I used this as a photo reference from my photography class a long time ago, so I used that, and then I threw in a table and a coffee mug, and then the background, of course. So I'm still waiting for it to dry. There's a lot of things going on with this that I need to go back in with, like my head doesn't make any sense. I really like what I did with the steam from the coffee. That was fun. Yeah. Alright, well, that is it. That is all my artwork from this entire year. To briefly talk about my feelings about it, I feel like I gained some very valuable lessons from this year. You know, I feel like I could have, I don't know. My first year of college, I feel like my artwork was at a higher level than what my artwork is from this year. Like, this is my first year. This is like me from this last year. I definitely wish I could have put more time into it, but considering with how stressed out I was, you know, I wasn't trying to make myself go into too much detail, so hopefully next year, you know, I can do that, get into more detailed stuff, not have to worry about my grades and stuff, and I can just focus on art, because next semester we're taking all art classes. Pretty psyched. Yeah, and of course you all know about the exciting news that's gonna happen, so I think that's all for me. I hope you guys all have a great day. Anyways, keep it cool, keep it fresh, keep it lemon zest. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, do what you please, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!